The chain around her neck. Lena ran through the dark hallway gasping for air. The metal walls around her were cold and damp. The siren still echoed behind her, soft now, but steady. She held her hand tight to her neck where the slave collar burned into her skin. She had only minutes before the next patrol would scan the area. If they found her missing from the work line, they would send the shock. And if that didn't stop her, they would come in person. Lena didn't care anymore. She was done waiting, done obeying. Her legs shook as she climbed down into the old waste shaft. No lights here, no cameras, just silence and rot. At the far end of the tunnel, a man sat with his back to the wall. He held a piece of broken pipe in one hand, in the other a small blinking light. His tracker jammer. Milo looked up as she stumbled in. He stood quickly, his eyes wide. "Lena, what are you doing? If they see you." "Help me," she said. Her voice was dry but firm. She pointed to the collar. "It's burning me from the inside. I can't take it anymore. Please, Milo, take it off." Milo looked at the collar. It was the same black band all slaves wore. A thin wire ran along its edges. Tiny red lights blinked in rhythm with her heartbeat. "Lena, if I touch that thing, it might kill you right here." "Then let it," she whispered. She was shaking now, but not from fear. "I won't survive the night like this. The pulse shocks, they're stronger." "Something's wrong with the collar," Milo swallowed. He had seen others collapse from the same thing. When a collar started to short-circuit, it cooked the nerves from inside. No warning, just heat. And then silence. "Come sit," he said. He helped her lean against the wall. He handed her a metal cup. It held warm recycled water, but it helped. "You know the rules," Milo said softly. "They say anyone who tampers with a collar gets the wall. Even if they fail, even if they're just trying to help." Lena looked at him. Her eyes were red, not from tears, but from weeks of smoke and coal and grief. "They already broke me, Milo, you think I care about their wall?" She coughed. Her voice cracked. "I'd rather die free than sleep in chains again." Milo stared at the collar. He reached out, then pulled his hand back. He knew the collar's lock system. It wasn't alien tech, it was human. Built by traders who sold out to the invaders for power. It had a kill switch inside. If removed the wrong way, it sent a burst of energy into the spine. No one survived that. "How long has it been acting up?" he asked. 3 days. The shock started getting stronger. Yesterday, it buzzed all night. And now it feels like fire on my neck. Milo looked at her skin. Red welts had formed under the edge of the collar. "You're burning," he said. She nodded slowly. "I think it's breaking. And when it does, I go with it." Milo sat down, his back against the opposite wall. He ran his fingers through his dusty hair. This wasn't just about her anymore. If Lena died from the collar, it would be a warning to the others. No escape, no freedom. If he helped her, even tried, he risked his own life. And if he failed, he would have to watch her die in front of him. But if he did nothing, she would die anyway. He looked at her again. Her hands trembled, but her eyes, they were steady. He stood up. "There might be one way," he said. "There's an old engineer lives past the water ducts, name's Grant. He used to work on collar tech before they shut him down." Lena blinked. "Can he remove it?" "I don't know, but if anyone can, it's him." He reached into his coat, pulled out a thin gray cloth, and wrapped it around her neck to hide the collar's glow. "Can you walk?" Lena nodded. They moved together through the old shafts, step by step, avoiding the main paths, always listening. Every now and then, they heard the patrols, the buzz of hover units, the echo of boots on steel. Lena's breathing grew harder. Her knees buckled once Milo caught her. "We're close," he whispered. They finally reached a narrow hatch. Milo knocked in a pattern. Too short, too long. It creaked open. A thin old man with pale eyes looked out. He frowned. "What now?" he asked. Then saw Lena. He sighed. "Collar trouble. She won't last the night," Milo said. Grant stepped aside. "Bring her in. Let's see what we can do." Beneath the surface, Lena lay on the floor of the dark room. Her breathing was shallow. Sweat rolled down her forehead. The collar on her neck was glowing faint red now, like a warning light that never stopped blinking. Grant sat beside her with a small tool in his hand. He moved slowly, his fingers old but careful. He didn't touch the collar yet. Just studied it. Watched it. Milo stood nearby, nervous. Eyes darting between the door and Lena. How bad is it? He asked. Grant didn't look up. Worse than I thought. This isn't a standard collar. It's been modified. Modified how? Grant sighed. Someone changed the energy core. It's unstable. If it keeps heating up like this, it'll fry her nervous system before sunrise. Lena winced as the collar buzzed again. Her hands clenched. She didn't scream, but the pain showed in her face. I told you, she whispered. I'm running out of time. Grant shook his head. I don't have the tools to fix this here, and I can't remove it safely without the decoder module. Where is it? Milo asked. Control deck, top floor of the Overseer's tower, locked inside a vault. Milo blinked. That place is crawling with patrols. It's suicide. Grant looked at Lena, then back at Milo. She'd be dead by morning. That's not a guess. That's a fact. The room fell silent. Only the faint hum of the collar filled the space. Milo ran a hand across his face. He had been in the control tower before, but only as a cleaner. Slaves were not allowed near the vaults. Not without permission, not without watchers. How do I open the vault? He asked. Grant hesitated. The module is protected by a DNA lock. It only opens for authorized users, or their direct bloodline. Milo frowned. Then how do I get in? Grant looked at him for a long second, then said something that made Milo freeze. You might already have access. What do you mean? Grant stood. He pulled a dusty folder from under a metal box. Inside was a photo, a man in a lab coat, standing next to a collar unit on a test table. That's your father, isn't it? Milo stepped back. The photo hit him like a punch. It had been years since he'd seen his father's face. He never knew what happened to him. He just disappeared one day. Left Milo behind on Earth. You're saying he worked for them? He helped build the collar system before he vanished. He was working on the override codes. He may have left a back door. Milo stared at the picture. The collar in the photo looked just like the one Lena wore. He helped them enslave people, and now you think I can use that to free her? Grant nodded. If your DNA is close enough, the vault might let you in. Lena groaned. Her body shook. The collar buzzed again, hotter now, angrier. Milo turned to her. I'll go. I'll get the module. No, she said weakly. If they catch you. He knelt beside her. Telling you I wouldn't help would have been easier. But I'm not like them. I'm still human. He stood, looked at Grant. What do I need to know about the tower? Grant walked over to a dusty table, spread out a rough map of the upper levels. There's a tunnel under the east wing. Leads to the laundry shaft. From there you'll find a vent behind the main control wall. Follow that, it'll drop you near the vault room. And the patrols. 2 rotating guards plus drones, but the night shift is slow. If you move fast and keep low, you'll make it. Milo nodded. He picked up a dull gray coat, slipped it over his shirt. Then he looked at Lena again. She was breathing harder now, her fingers twitching. You hang on, you hear me? He said. She tried to smile, but her lips trembled. I'll try. Milo turned and slipped out the hatch. The tunnel outside was cold and narrow. He kept his steps soft. Every sound echoed like thunder. He moved through the vents and climbed up toward the higher decks. Every now and then, a buzz passed overhead. The patrol drones scanning for heat. He ducked low, waited, moved again. Finally, he reached the control wing. The lights were dim here, quiet. He spotted the vault door at the far end. It was smooth silver, no handles, just a glowing blue panel. He stepped close, placed his hand on the sensor. The light turned green. Milo's breath caught in his chest. It worked. The door slid open with a soft hiss. Inside, rows of sealed cases lined the walls. He searched quickly. One case had the label, decoder module, Gen 2 collar. He grabbed it and turned to leave. Then he saw a second folder on the shelf. Inside, another photo of his father, this time older, standing with alien officers. Milo's stomach turned. His father had not just helped, he had led. But now Milo had the chance to undo some of that. He ran through the halls, down the vents, back to the shafts. When he finally reached the hatch, he opened it fast. I got it, he said, holding Up the module. Lena didn't move. She was barely breathing. Grant looked at the module, then at her. He took it with shaking hands. "This is it," he said. "Now we see if she lives." Into the den. Room was silent, except for the soft hum of the decoder module in Grant's hand. He connected it to a small device with blinking lights. Lena lay still on the floor, her skin pale, her breathing shallow. Milo sat beside her, his eyes fixed on the collar. The red glow was stronger now. It pulsed with each beat of her heart. Grant looked serious, focused. His fingers moved fast as he linked wires and adjusted controls. "This module gives me one chance," he said. "If I do it wrong, the collar will lock and discharge." Milo swallowed. "What's the success rate?" Grant gave a small shake of his head. "I don't deal in numbers. I deal in moments. And this one is now or never." He leaned over Lena, his hands steady despite the tension in the room. "Lena, can you hear me?" he asked softly. Her eyes opened just a little. "I trust you," she whispered. Milo took her hand.